This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr. Thanks for hanging out here with me. Coming up on the show, my keys to the game between the Niners and Texans, matchups to watch, what the Niners must do and accomplish to win this game, and I'll give you my prediction. Key to the game number one, the 49ers losing Bryce Huff to this hamstring injury over the next couple of weeks is a huge bummer. You're already without Nick Bosa. You're already without Fred Warner. Going into the year, Bryce Huff was your number 2 edge rusher. Without Bosa, he had elevated to that top pass rusher spot. He had been playing really well. And in that game against Atlanta, he dominated. And now the Niners do not have a lot of healthy bodies at the pass rusher spot. Wouldn't surprise me if they make a trade this week. Huff this year, he's been fantastic under Robert Saleh. They've reunited from their Jets days. He didn't work out with the Eagles. He's working out with the Niners. Overall PFF grade of 82.3, pass rush grade of 81.4, run defense grade of 65.7. He has tallied 19 pressures, 15 hurries, 4 sacks. He has 9 stops, and all of that has come on 135 pass rushing snaps. The bend that he has, the twitch and the explosion that he has coming off the edge allows him to win a lot of matchups. We've seen that all year, and the Niners have been counting on him more and more in recent weeks without Bosa, and he's passed the test. So without him, Robert Saleh, once again, going to have to get very creative, very exotic and aggressive with how to generate pressure on C.J. Stroud. Which brings me to key to the game number 2. What I thought Robert Saleh did an awesome job with against Atlanta when the Niners pressured Michael Penix all night and pushed the pocket, collapsed the pocket, and got to him. Robert Saleh called a lot of timely blitzes in some really key situations. This Texans offensive line stinks. And I know I've been criticizing this Niners offensive line for a little while. It's much better than this Texans offensive line, which is one of the worst in the NFL. And hopefully the Niners found something here with their pass rush, because against Atlanta, as a team, they were able to generate 22 pressures and 2 sacks. With the Seahawks going up against the Texans on Monday night, C.J. Stroud was lost because he was under siege with all of the exotic looks that Mike McDonald called and presented that Texans offense with his Seahawks defense. So without Bryce Huff, you're going to miss and be without your top pass rusher at the edge spot. He had 5 pressures and a sack against Atlanta. Sam Okuwanu had 5 with the sack. Alfred Collins had 3. D. Winters had 2 pressures. Jordan Elliott with 2. Kevin Givens 2. Tatum Bethune 1. Chase Lucas, Michael Williams also added 1. You're going to need that collective effort again from this Niners defense to once again cause havoc and for this Sunday game, beat the Houston Texans. Key to the game number 3. Did the 49ers find something with their ground attack? Up until that Sunday night game against the Atlanta Falcons, they had been one of the worst rushing teams in football. 32nd in yards per carry, 30th in rushing yards per game. But the last 2 games, we've seen some improvements, and this is because Kyle Shanahan has made some scheme adjustments. The Niners have run it less as far as their zone running scheme. The 49ers zone rushing percentage, weeks 1 through 5, 61.2%. But in the last 2 games, we've seen less zone running, 42.6%, and more power and gap scheme from Kyle Shanahan. And that led to Christian McCaffrey turning back the clocks, looking like the player who he was in 2023 when he won Offensive Player of the Year. It led to this Niners ground attack having its best game of the season. And this Kyle Shanahan offense is at its best when the ground game is humming, when there is balance with this offense. Because if you can run it successfully, you dictate the pace, the physicality, the flow, the complexion of the game, and it helps out the quarterback and the pass game. Now, with Matt Hennessy replacing Jake Brendel, the Niners, because of injury, may have found something here as well. Hennessy very well might be an upgrade from Brendel, who I will say, prior to hurting his hamstring against Atlanta, was playing pretty well in that game. But Hennessy might be a smaller player, but he's a quicker, more agile player. And we're not talking about some journeyman slouch here. Like, Hennessy was a 3rd-round pick out of Temple by the Atlanta Falcons. And you saw some of the ability against his former team on Sunday night. 20 pass blocking snaps, 0 sacks allowed, 1 pressure allowed, 0 quarterback hits given up, pass blocking efficiency of 97.5, pass blocking grade of 79.2, run blocking grade of 64.1. And Christian McCaffrey looked incredible on Sunday. Kyle Shanahan went in having a game plan of wanting to run it a lot. Well, Christian McCaffrey got a lot of touches. 24 carries on the ground, $129, 2 rushing touchdowns, 5.4 yards per carry. That number by far his best of the year. Key to the game number 4, and another key matchup here. The Niners offensive tackles, Trent Williams and Colt McKivitz, will be tested. And Trent Williams is probably coming off the best game of his season because he was excellent on Sunday. Did not give up a single pressure. Colt McKivitz has been pretty damn solid all year. But the edge rusher combination for Houston, one of the best in the NFL. Danielle Hunter this season, fresh off that contract extension, 4 sacks, 6 quarterback hits, 4 TFLs, and 16 tackles. And then his running mate is the youngster out of Alabama, Will Anderson. He, too, has 4 sacks. So Hunter and Anderson have combined for 8 sacks this year. Anderson also has 7 quarterback hits, 7 TFLs, and 22 tackles. Key to the game number 5. Beware of Derek Stingley. Now, I have certainly cooled on some of these Pro Football Focus grades. They lost a lot of key employees a couple of years ago. Last year, it was up and down. This year, their grading system has been horrible. For instance, they had Geno Smith, who had 64 passing yards, as a higher graded quarterback this week than Patrick Mahomes. The Raiders got shut out. At one point, the Chiefs had 30 first downs to the Raiders' 30 plays. Like, how does it happen that Mahomes is a lesser graded player than Geno Smith? So when you look at the PFF numbers for Derek Stingley, another recently paid superstar, it doesn't look all that good. But this is one of the top lockdown corners in the NFL. And obviously you have Patrick Surtain who's up there. I think Quinyon Mitchell has been playing at that high level. There are some other cornerbacks who are in that tier. Derek Stingley is in that tier. He's a stud. He does such a great job of reading the receiver, reading the eyes of the quarterback. He's very opportunistic with the opportunities that present themselves to him. And if you throw it his way and you're inaccurate or you telegraph your pass, he's going to make you pay. And I wonder who he's going to cover in this game because obviously the Niners have been very short-handed at the wide receiver spot. That's also led to why you've seen Mac Jones throw the ball really quickly and get rid of it. It's a formula that it's crazy that it's working out that effectively this year, but it's worked for Mac Jones because of the lack of juice at wide receiver. Predict the score, Niners, Texans. This is a huge game for both teams here in Week 8. I think this game is once again going to be low scoring because the Niners haven't scored a lot of points all season long because they've had so many injuries and they've been so banged up on offense. So I think the Niners win this game. I think San Francisco lifts their record to 6-2. I do think it's close. The Texans are in desperation mode in a loaded AFC that is really just jumbled up right now. And you keep in mind the AFC South. Not a lot of people were expecting the Indianapolis Colts to be as good as they've been this year. The Jags, better than expected. The Texans, worse than expected. So they are playing for their playoff lives. But I just think the Niners are the better coach team, the better team. They're rolling right now. And I think San Francisco wins.